Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone, from our little 2 week break, aka my computer died. Rest in peace to that computer. It was beautiful. But we are just going to get straight into a couple videos this week. We're going to roll with a conference finals talk, NBA. We're going to have another video, two more videos after this that talk more NBA. Um, Getting into some trades that have happened, getting into some maybe teams that were supposed to be better but kind of sucked or underachieved and
But for
go
this
more depth.
video, it's just going to be conference final predictions.
Yep, we're gonna just go right into that. But of course, you already know where we're going here. Anthony's Jewelers is the sponsor of our videos. Phone number right on the screen. Book appointment, of course, is 6 different options, but your name, email, phone number, all that stuff. Get into it. You can buy online or you can go in person. Book appointments, easiest way to get an appointment in there as well, obviously. But phone number, just as easy. Look at all the deals. Got everything going right now for this week as well. So, well, yeah, we're gonna go set that up. All right. So we're gonna start off with the Western Conference. They've already started. The Suns won a very exciting game one behind Devin Booker's first triple double. So that was cool to watch. But that was a really cool series because right now it's
That
kind of
that game was phenomenal in general.
yeah,
So
it's
much
gonna
back and forth.
it's gonna be like a Devin Booker, Paul George, and a bunch of role player series unless Kawhi and
Terrence
Chris
Mann.
Paul come back. But it's gonna be very evenly matched. But what do you guys think? How would you look into the rest of the series? How it's gonna go? Because after game one, it looks very competitive. So
Right.
Well,
Well,
I'll be honest.
if Kawhi doesn't come back, I'm going to say it's pretty safe for the Suns to be the victor. But, if Kawhi does come back, which he's rumored to come back game three, it's going to be much, much closer. And it could be anybody's game at that point with Chris Paul back as well. So we'll see what happens with that.
For me, the biggest thing is how well there's been so much success with Sorry, video just started playing. One of the biggest things that I found interesting was seeing how well the Suns were succeeding without Chris Paul being on the floor. Seeing big numbers put up by DeAndre Ayton, Miles Bridges, Jay Crowder, they all putting up at least double-digit amounts of points, along with Booker dropping 40, showed how good the team chemistry is. And I didn't think it would show up that well, especially Chris Paul not being there, facilitating the floor, getting the
Campaign best
assists.
backup point guard.
Yeah, he really did a good job. He came in second on the team with 9 assists that game, and he stepped up and did his job. I was quite shocked by him.
Yeah, he's really aggressive too when he plays, always getting to the rim
I was just
and
gonna say this.
passing.
Just a couple of years ago, I think Cameron Payne was in a Chinese league, and he came back, signed a contract with someone through I think the G League maybe, and he guy got ruined by COVID, and then the Suns gave him a second chance. So it's cool to see him succeeding. And I just pulled up his stats. He so far in the postseason, campaign's getting you 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists a game with 1 turnover. So, I mean, for him to come in and
That's
just give
pretty
you
awesome.
10, 3, and 3 a game for a guy that really wasn't never a focal point in the league, and he was a lottery pick, I think, to Oklahoma City at first. So
Yeah, I think
it's
he
good
was
to see
picked
him.
12th, right?
Yeah, it's
Or
kind of, yeah,
13th maybe.
it was good. It's good to see him come into like fruition a little bit, find a good role, and maybe he can sustain that. And it's very important because Chris Paul, unfortunately, has been somewhat injured recently, or is now in the COVID list because he's COVID positive. So it's kind of crazy
Right.
how this is all working in Cameron Payne's favor to, pick up. But I think for the rest of the series, what I look forward to is obviously Booker and Paul George is going to be mostly your leading scorer.
Yeah, playoff P's back, I guess. No more pandemic P.
This is Indiana Pacers
Yeah,
before he split his leg in half. Paul George that we've been seeing the past couple of days. What I'm very interested to see is the Suns' secondary scoring is coming from Michael Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, a little bit of Jay Crowder, a little bit of Cam Johnson.
right.
They have solidified scores. Like their role players can score a little bit. I'm interested to see if the Clippers can keep up with that until maybe Kawhi comes back. And it looks like Kawhi is very 50-50 in coming back. I know it's rumored for game 3. I'm hoping to see it. I would love to see him and CP come back for the series. But I'm
Yeah.
looking to see how the Clippers role players score because Reggie Jackson's been playing very well recently.
Yeah, he's been getting to the rim.
But it's also
He's been
Reggie
super
Jackson.
aggressive.
So it's
Yeah.
like he's not very
Inconsistency's
consistent.
bound to happen, yeah.
Yeah, and Luke Kennard, he's not doing as well as everybody thinks he was going to do. Terrence Mann had that really
Terrence
good
Mann
game
kind of stole
7.
his spot. He shot
Yeah.
3 of 3 from 3, Terrence Mann.
Yep. So it's just, and they still got Marcus Morris, they got Batum.
Yeah, he sucked though. Morris.
Ibaka's
he
out
didn't
for the
do anything.
playoffs too. So
Yeah.
it's like their secondary scoring is their big issue right now with no Kawhi, because obviously Kawhi missing 25 points per game and really good defense. So it's like you have to find a way to replace how Kawhi works.
Yeah, Paul George and Reggie Jackson really had to carry,
Yeah.
especially throughout the rest of the Jazz series. And
To
then,
get to my
the
point,
first game.
What I'm trying to say is like the Suns have found the Chris Paul replacement. I'm not saying Cameron Payne is Chris Paul, but Cameron Payne has given him a really good spark in the minutes.
Right.
Who's going to be the one in the Clippers that steps up and gives you the Kawhi Leonard feel? Terrence Mann did it once and clutched up.
He was great defensively too.
Yeah, so
hustling.
Is it going to be Terrence Mann for
things.
this series as well? Or is it going to have to be like a Marcus Morris where he puts on like what he used to do with the Celtics? Or is it going to be a guy like Zubac who comes off the bench or Cousins who got like 11 points in like 4 minutes right away? So, they have the spark guys. It's just a matter of doing it. I think the Suns win this series in 5 because but this is based off, I don't think Kawhi Leonard's coming back. ACL injuries are very serious.
Yeah, and he likes load management. I don't know though, but he's got a real shot at a championship. Would he really want to blow that off? He's already got 3, so.
But my thing is too, Chris Paul is, I read a thing yesterday, Chris Paul is symptom free. So
right.
It looks like after the 10 days, he should be able to
right
come back.
Yeah.
So around game 4, game 5, it looks like he could come back. So I think there's a better chance that Chris Paul plays the series than Kawhi. So I'm basing my prediction of that. I think the Suns win in 5.
Yeah.
Suns have
With
better
that
role
being
players.
said, if that is true, if that does happen, I'll agree with that. I'll go 5. Actually, I'll go 6. Give the Clippers 2, the way they've been playing.
It might all change at home.
I was going to agree with you there. I was going to say in 6 because, Kawhi Leonard, when he comes back, he's just going to have a huge he's going to have a huge presence on the floor.
No, I'm saying like without Kawhi, I'm saying 6.
Oh, if Kawhi doesn't come back, I'm going to say 5. If he does come back, I'm going to say 6. I'll even go on the limb and say maybe Suns sweep.
It was, for what it's worth, game 1 is very, very close. And then the Suns kind of took over the fourth quarter. As you can tell, they just had the better overall team right now because the Clippers injuries are kind of killing them. When you're missing guys like Ibaka and Kawhi Leonard.
But it was neck and neck until the last minute too,
Paul George
really could have gone either way.
Paul George was definitely doing his thing in game 1.
Yeah, he was. And I gotta say, for the Clippers as a team, I know they shot like over 43%, like 43.6% from 3 that game as well. If they continue to shoot that well, like Rondo hit 2 of 2 from 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's amazing. When you have Rondo hitting his corner threes, it's going to be a good night for your team.
Yeah,
don't forget about playoff Rondo and even Pat Beverly's defense too.
Yeah, just thinking about just looking quickly at the box score before we go on to the Eastern Conference. Reggie Jackson gave him 24, 4, and 6, which is good. But now this is where the inconsistency comes in. Is he going to give you the 20 points again, 25 and 5 type ordeal, or is it going to go to not as good Reggie Jackson? So
yeah, I almost want to give him the benefit of the doubt though, because he's been kind of hot since that Utah series.
Yeah,
and he's been pretty good in the playoffs. He hasn't really cooled down yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say he'll continue to do that, but obviously it's Reggie Jackson, so who knows?
Yep. And this is what proves my point. Cameron Payne, game 1, 11, 9, and 3, 8 and 20 and 9. Bridges 14. Jay Crowder 13 and 6. Cam Johnson gave you 12 and 4. Torrey Craig gave you 8 and 6. That's what I'm saying. The role players for the Suns, I just think, are levels ahead compared to the Clippers role players when you're missing your second star player on both teams. So
yeah, absolutely.
In the end, the Suns pulled it out because their role players are better. But we all have our predictions, and now we're getting into the spiciness because Eastern Conference Finals, technically, if we're basing it off the sports books, between Bucks and Hawks, the Bucks are heavy favorites. So, but the thing is, the Hawks were also heavy underdogs against the 76ers, and they took care of business in the past couple of games.
They've been phenomenal.
And it's not like, the Hawks like surprised. Is the Hawks battled. They came back. I think it was game 3 or 4. They were down like 16 points and came back and won. Game 5, they were down 26 and came back and won.
Yeah,
So
that was
they
amazing.
they did their thing against a top team, but this is a different breed. The Bucks are very good. They beat the Nets. The Nets were hurt, but they still beat the Nets. They still beat Durant. They still beat Harden. Kyrie played
Yeah.
a couple
The only
games.
thing I will say about the Hawks, though, how much do you have to give their series win of courtesy of Ben Simmons? You know?
We'll get into Ben Simmons in the next
Yeah.
within the next
I
two
mean, I don't want to take
videos.
anything away from the Hawks. They played, their hearts out. They shot well. They did what they had to do.
My thing is that the first two series the Hawks played, they
Yeah.
didn't have the teams that they faced in the Knicks and
Oh no, they controlled the Knicks all day.
the Knicks and 76ers, they didn't have a guard defender that could roll with Trae Young. Now Trae Young is he's very good scorer regardless, but they don't have a guy that he's going to see in the next series in Drew Holiday. They didn't have a Drew Holiday. Now Drew
Right.
Holiday gets a stick
Good
on Trae
point.
Young, who's a guard, who's quick enough to stay with Trae Young and guard him all game long. So is that going to make a big difference compared to the first two series where Trae Young was allowed to do what he wanted to do? Yes, he had Ben Simmons on him sometimes. He had Elfrid Payton's a pretty decent defender, RJ Barrett, lengthier guys in the Knicks who were on him.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to say, though, in the last game in game 7 against Philly, Trae Young shot like shit. But, he was still able to, like, be very effective on the outcome of the game. Like, great passing.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say, like, his shot selection was poor, but, like, they were kind of quick shots, so I don't know.
You can thank Kevin Huerter for winning that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Kevin Huerter and
exactly.
Gallinari. But just to look at it, toss a quick prediction, and I think the Bucks win this series in 6. I shouldn't take if we're playing how the Hawks are playing, I shouldn't bet against them, but I think the Bucks are better, can match up better.
All
The
props in the world to the
76ers.
Bucks for, coming back like they did in that series too.
Yep.
Getting killed the first 2 games.
Yep. They're both the Hawks and Bucks are here because they play teams with who haven't really been there or injuries. Now they're facing each other at full health. Well, the Hawks aren't really at full health, but mostly full health. And for what it's worth, I mean, the Hawks are missing DeAndre Hunter and Reddish. What's his face on the Bucks? DiVincenzo's out for the playoffs, so
Right.
that kind of levels out the playing field a little bit because it's two young players who got you like 12, 15 points per game.
Yeah.
And I love Reddish, but he hasn't really been a full impact player yet. It's more Hunter and DiVincenzo out.
Yeah. I agree with
So
that.
I'm rolling with Bucks in 6. I think the Hawks steal a couple. Hawks wouldn't surprise me if they beat one game 1. But I think Drew Holiday needs to have a better series, though. It's all going to depend because Holiday hasn't had a good playoffs. He's still a very good defender, but they need to rely on him because the Hawks can score in bunches.
Yeah, he needs to shoot better.
The Hawks can score in bunches. And I look at the matchup of Capella and Brook Lopez. If Brook Lopez can take Capella out of the paint and be a decent 3-point shooter this series, I think the Bucks win very easily. But if you allow Capella to be, a
but
rim
then Giannis is
protector,
going to get to the hole the whole time. So
exactly. So that's going to be a big matchup to see if who can control.
yeah. So for my official prediction, I'm probably going to go with Bucks in 7. I think, if Atlanta does play very well and they keep it fast, they could win. Herter's got to keep shooting lights out. Gallo's got to do his thing. Bogdanovich lights out as well. They got to keep Giannis, out of the paint, and Middleton, limit him as well. But ultimately, I do think the Bucks are going to win. I think Middleton's going to shoot well. I think Giannis is going to get to the paint and do his thing. But it's going to be a fun series to say the least. But yeah.
What do you think, Kyle?
For me, I'm going to say the Bucks win this in 5. As much as I am not a Bucks fan and watching their basketball style is quite boring, just giving it to Giannis whenever they can't get by the defender and Giannis just lays it up for a layup, dunk, or shoots free throws and takes 20 million years to shoot his free throws. Yeah, the Bucks are just going to win this simply just because of Giannis and his supporting cast. But that's all. They're making it to the finals, and then that's it. They're no match for any of the Western Conference teams on both sides. the Western Conference teams are way more diverse than 3-point shooting, defense, and inside. Bucks are just a one-trick pony. So I got them in 5.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything on you because I'm not a big Giannis guy, and he doesn't, to stick with the lingo, he doesn't have a bag in basketball. He's just very unorthodox. He's like a unicorn. But
Yeah.
props to him for actually being an
Yeah, he
aggressive.
didn't fold.
And this is totally not a shot against Ben Simmons. Totally not a shot against Ben Simmons, but it's going to be a shot against Ben Simmons. He knows how to be aggressive and realize that when you have height and strength, that you are allowed to play bully ball. It's
Yeah,
boring,
you're getting to the rim
but
if you want
use
to.
your body, man. It's
Yeah.
not hard. And we're gonna go more into Ben Simmons in the next video, but like I just want to say this now. That's the difference. Giannis plays like what Philly fans want Ben Simmons to play. He gets the rebounds, he gets
Right.
the assists, he gets the defense. But Giannis puts up continuous 30 points per game because he's not afraid to shoot a 3 if he's wide
Yeah.
open. And then guess what? He makes one randomly. He might be like 30% from 3, not even. What does it matter? You make 1 or 2 in a row, boom. Now your paint opens up.
It's funny
Now
when
your
he banks one too.
Now your playmaking opens up even more. It's crazy how it works if you just shoot a 3 that
Yeah, if you leave him open,
grown
he'll
man,
take it.
a grown man is giving you 10 feet to shoot a 3 and you still won't shoot the ball. You don't even know what hand you shoot the ball with.
Can't
It doesn't
make
make
free
any
throws.
sense.
You expect
But
him to make threes?
I'm
Can't
gonna
even shoot
wait.
from the free throw line.
I want to
Wide
wait
open.
till the next video.
I think a debate that we should have is.
But yeah, we'll get there.
I think a debate that we should have. This is going to be for future. I would like to see if our viewers would like to hear this debate. Markelle Fultz or Ben Simmons, who's had the biggest letdown?
I think that's an
In
obvious answer.
in terms of shooting wise, like overall, obviously Ben Simmons is better though. But like, for example, like who would you rather have like take the shot to like keep you alive, Ben Simmons or Fultz?
Well, to answer the shot question, I would obviously pick Fultz because Fultz is just a better scorer and he had the shoulder issue. But if I were to reword your question, I would say who is the bigger tease? Because Markelle Fultz is technically coming out of college was a better NBA prospect in today's day than Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons did it all.
Oh yeah.
But Ben Simmons never cared
So
to
did Markelle Fultz though.
Yeah, like Ben Simmons
college,
never
at least.
cared to get better. Like Ben Simmons came in and gave you 15, 8, and 8. And he was like, nope, that's it. That's my plateau. I'm not getting more than that. I'm getting 16 next year. That's the highest I'm getting you. But it's like Fultz, he had the shoulder issue. And then he had the confidence and mentally issue. So it's like, that's a different story compared to Simmons. Like Ben Simmons still doesn't know if he should shoot with his left or right hand. So how are you 5 seasons into the NBA, 4 full seasons and a broken foot?
Plus, another good point too
You still
for
don't know.
Kyle. I don't want to give up on Fultz just yet because like we really haven't seen him unleashed.
That is
So-
true.
Finally getting to that point now.
Yeah.
though. And then he got
And he
the
just
meniscus
the
injury.
ACL
Or
yeah,
ACL, yeah.
meniscus. Yeah, whatever it was, some knee problem at least.
But he should be unleashed next year because the Magic stink. So
Yeah,
there's no reason
know,
for
right?
Fultz to play 30 plus
Yeah,
minutes a game next year and be your starting point guard on a team that's rebuilding. He should put up some stats. So
I just wish Fultz didn't go through that situation with the shooting, changing his jump shot and everything. Because isn't he listed as what is he listed at? A point guard, shooting guard?
He's a
What is he?
combo
combo
guard.
guard.
Combo. All right.
yeah. He's
So
just a guard.
I feel like if he never was touched, he just came out of college, did his own thing, never switched up his jump shot, didn't have to. I feel like he would be the main point guard for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons would not be in the point guard position. That would be Fultz's position.
Well, you know what though? Actually, I'd say the contrary because Fultz, he was really good off ball too in college. Like he was supposed to.
He was
like,
a good shooter.
Yeah, exactly. But we still don't. No one really knows what caused that problem either. There's so many like contradicting stories out there. So it's just one of the NBA's greatest mysteries.
Yeah. But you know what?
Very sad.
We'll add that into the next video because we only got 2 minutes left. So
Yeah, sure.
let's switch this up. Let's switch it up. Let's finish our video. Like I said, videos are obviously sponsored by Anthony's Jewelers. Go give them a shot. They're a great business. Anthony Manzo's a great guy who will help you through anything. Phone numbers here, like I said, book appointment through online, or you could call for an appointment. They always have deals, always a bunch of good deals that you can go and get. So you guys already know what we are recommending for you. But that is it for this first video. We're gonna go more into the hypothetical and off-season trade stuff like that. Ben Simmons, especially in the next video. So if you hold on and watch this one and then watch throughout the next one, you're gonna enjoy, I hope. But that's it for now. Hope everybody has a good night.